So I just saw Highest to Lowest, the newest Spike Lee movie. See, Spike Lee movies are like flipping a coin. You know, there's the heads, the good movies like, Malcolm X, and then there's tails, the bad movies like the Old Boy remake. But thankfully, we landed on heads, and we got Highest to Lowest. But what is Highest to Lowest about? Well, Highest to Lowest is about a remake or reinterpretation, as Spike Lee likes to say, of High and Low. Unlike Old Boy, where it's just the same scenes directed in the same way, same tone, pretty much everything's the same except for a few choices which are 10 times worse and just make the movie worse. The only major difference is in English. That's pretty much it. This, on the other hand, can actually be called a reinterpretation since a lot of the elements are changed. The way the characters are, the way the acting is, the way that it's directed, the tone. It just has the same general plot points, but outside of that, almost all of its own thing. See, and that I had high expectations because High and Low, I got on Criterion, and I may do a review on it one day. But to me, it is one of my favorite Kurosawa movies, top 3, and it's not number 3. It's really a perfect masterpiece in my opinion. So I was kind of hesitant seeing another movie, Old Boy, which is also a perfect masterpiece. In fact, that's one of my favorite movies, getting butchered so badly by Spike Lee. But thankfully, he actually made it work and actually feels like, again, a reinterpretation, not just a remake. But what is this movie about? Well, it's about a musical record executive called by Denzel Washington, who's in the middle of a big deal. And his company's about to get bought out by another rival company, so he tries raising money to buy a bunch of shares so the deal won't go through. But whilst he's in the midst of that, his son, somebody calls him and says that his son has been kidnapped. And at first, he gets money ready, everything's ready to go, but he finds out his son's okay. It's actually his son's best friend, who's the son of Denzel's best friend, played by Jeffrey Wright. And now he's stuck in a dilemma. Does he either give the millions of dollars to the kidnapper, or does he rescue his best friend's son? That is the general premise. Again, there's a lot of differences between this and High and Low, so I'm not going to go into comparisons. But ultimately, I do far prefer High and Low. That's just an impossible task to surpass. Again, there's very few movies that are as good as High and Low, and this one ain't it. But again, it stands on its own. That doesn't really warrant comparisons, unlike other movies which I've reviewed. This movie can stand on its own 2 legs and walk perfectly fine. Again, there's performances played first by Denzel Washington. Denzel's great. Again, like I have to say that, he's always great in everything. There are some problems though with his performance. I don't think he acts concerned enough when his son gets kidnapped. I also don't think his wife acts concerned enough either. Jeffrey Wright actually does that part better, but outside that, his performance is spot on. He's got you got the charisma. He always grabs your attention, keeps it.